coming out, and it's great. We had a good workout today. We've moved on. It's one of the tough things for us as coaches is you work so much after a ball game, and this one was on Friday instead of Saturday, so it's kind of hard to go backwards a little bit. You're just looking forward to the next ball game, but we got a great opponent coming in with East Carolina. A 5-year starting quarterback for him. He's going to probably have all the records in the AAC by the time he gets done this season. A great group of receivers, big guys, great running back, really potent offense, and they're playing great defense. So we've been working hard on those guys, and very happy with the ball game last Friday. I was very impressed with our grit that we displayed as a team. Our guys fought through a lot of adversity during the course of the ball game, and not very often you get down to your third quarterback, and I thought Kai really delivered in the clutch on quite a few occasions, and so we're just happy to get out of there with a W and start off 1-0 in conference play. Anybody have any questions for me? Justin is, we're going to find out here in the next couple of days exactly where he's going to be at. We feel like Michael's going to have the opportunity to play this week.
Shoulder again?
Yeah.
Coach, from your perspective, how did he look in practice today? Michael's
He looked all right. I haven't had a chance to really talk to him, but we feel practicing the same as game, and we're being careful of what we're throwing at him right now. But hopefully he's going to be fine Saturday.
I know you always have confidence in your players, but Horton was able to deliver in that spot, considering the fact that he doesn't have a lot of reps in a national game. Did that surprise you at all?
I thought he showed great composure, on the sideline. He did a good job preparing in the week. I tell those guys, if you're third team, you're 2 plays away from being first team, second team, 1 play away. He comes from a really competitive high school. He's from Carthage, Texas. I'm not exactly sure what his record was in high school. I think he might have been 38-0. I don't think he lost a game in high school. And incredible statistics, touchdown interception ratio. He's played in Jerry's World in front of 40, 50,000 people. So he's been in some big ball games before, playing over there. And so that the moment wasn't too big for him. He's been in these kind of situations.
So one of your friends, coaching friends, tipped you off?
We just, started recruiting him, and, during the year, it was COVID year. So it made it difficult. That was a tough year to recruit for everybody because you couldn't go out and go to the schools and watch them in person. You couldn't go to the games. So it made it difficult, but we got on him at the beginning of the year all the way through, and you couldn't go out for spring ball, watch him in spring ball. So a little bit different year, but he's got the frame, size, speed, obviously played at a high level of high school football over there, and very well coached in high school. And he's done, and he had the experience last year against Cincinnati. Unfortunately, he dislocated his finger in that game and wasn't able to play the fourth quarter and was out the rest of the year, so we redshirted him.
Against East Carolina, one of the receivers got 4 touchdowns against you. Do you have any specific game plan for how to deal with that?
It's a little harder than people think it is sometimes, especially when they have 4 or 5 really good receivers. So you just got to understand the routes that he got open on, and everybody's got to tell, everybody's got to tip. We got to look at that and see if that can help us out. But they've got 4 or 5 really good receivers, big guys.
When you play a quarterback with obviously that much talent and that much experience, do you say to yourself, hey, we got to be prepared to score our share of points because it's going to be really hard to hold them down the entire game?
You never know the path to victory, and sometimes it's more defense than it is offense or vice versa. But yeah, we're going to have to score points on Saturday. There's no doubt about that. They've got a very potent offense, and and we're going to have to do a great job defensively of not allowing the big play. Make them earn it going down the field, and because they got a very controlled passing game, but they'll also take some shots on you.
I know you've coached a long time, and you can tell the kids whatever you want. You can't really make them feel how you want them to feel. How do you think, in retrospect, the Southern Miss game affected your players? And you notice any interesting sort of progression leading up to the season game?
I don't think so. I really stay even keel throughout the season, and we just there's plays to be made. There's some good things we did in the Southern Miss game. There's some things we didn't do as well, and we didn't play well enough to win the game. But you got to move on. If the week before we had a real good game, and the next week wasn't as good. You got to move on. Every game's its own entity. One thing I did talk to our guys about was there was a team that we played that had a big win over an SEC program, and then got beat by an American team, and then beat the team that everybody thought was going to win the Big 12. Oklahoma. I'm talking about Kansas State. So they went penthouse, outhouse, back to the penthouse. And best way for us to get back to the penthouse, win a ball game against Houston. So got to move on, and that's just what you got to do. There's only 12 of these opportunities. It's after this game at about 5:30, 6 o'clock on Saturday, we'll be halfway done with the season, man. It happens like this. It's quick. So you just got to focus on the task at hand.
Any thoughts about doubling your win total from last year already?
Until you said that, I hadn't really thought of it. I kind of forgot about last year, but that's a good thing. We want to keep adding to it, though.
Before the season, did you see this? I know you're always optimistic.
Yeah, and I am very optimistic, and I felt that way last year too, coming into the season. But we got some good players at certain spots that can help you out a bunch, and so I like the way our guys are competing, and we feel like we got an opportunity from the whole year to, if we play well, to win all these games. But if we don't play well, the bad result could happen. So we got to go prepare during the week, and then we got to go out and execute and play well in the ball game. Well, we're the big one obviously was the missed field goal. You got to hit that. That's a gimme field goal, and we're we got that job open right now, and we're competing for it, and we'll see who our field goal kicker is on Saturday. We're going to see. He kicked today, and we'll see how he keeps going. We're going to extend his range a little bit, but he's a possibility as well.
I'm sure you remember how Parcells used to say you are when you record says you are, but aren't there a number of ways a season can go off the rails? It's not necessarily, when you look at the improvement from last year to this year, is a 2-win season not necessarily indicative of a talent deficit or a bad team? It's sometimes just a convergence of factors.
There's a lot of things that contributed to last year, but number one, I didn't do as good a job as I needed to as a head coach, and we didn't coach as well as a staff, and we didn't play as well as we needed to, and you factor that in along with all the other things that we had going on. It made for a tough year, but those are all excuses. Matter of fact, I actually got Bill Parcells, one of my heroes, and I don't know, a month or two ago, Mike Tannenbaum. I'm sure some of you know he's a Tulane Law School graduate. He was here, and I said something about Coach Parcells, and he called him up, and I got a chance to talk to him for about 5-10 minutes, and good conversation, interesting guy.
What was did you take anything away from it that you can share about?
I got a quote up in our office that's attributed to Coach Parcells about how winners gather as a group, and and talk and work through problems, and losers get in small groups and, gripe and bitch and moan about everybody else. And that's Bill Parcells' quote. And that's the reason why Mike called him, and so he kind of told me the history of where he got that quote from, which was kind of interesting. Anybody else? Thank y'all. I want to, Coach Hunter's coming up here.